In today's video, I'm going to talk with you about chart knitting, working from a chart, how to make that a little bit easier, and some tools that you can use to work with charts. So let's talk about first why we would have a chart. So the first sample I'm going to show you, this is a heart design that I drew for my blanket square that I designed for the Harmony blanket knit along. I came up with a duplicate stitch pattern for my square. I am going to link over to my video on how to do duplicate stitch, and I will also link over to my blog where I have the pattern so that you can make your own square and get your copy of this chart. And it will also be linked up to all of the other bloggers who are involved in the Harmony blanket knit along, because this knit along is for the entire year of 2018, and at the end of the year there's going to be 48 squares. And so every week or so, somebody else will have a new square for you, and you can make all of our individual blanket squares and then stitch them all together at the end, and then you'll have this really cool sort of crazy quilt look blanket that you can enjoy for next winter. And this is a fun project because it's small and it's portable and all of that, but it does ask that you work from a chart. So when you work with charts, a lot of people freak out because they just, I don't know, they get overwhelmed with the visuals of a chart. And personally, I like this better because I'm a visual person, and so it works for me to see this rather than a whole bunch of words. My brain kind of glazes over when I work with patterns that are like these really long lines of abbreviations, and it made it very hard for me when I started knitting to progress into any sort of complex anything, because I couldn't deal with reading the patterns. But I found when I had the charts, I could actually do things that were a little more fanciful and complicated like this. So I'm going to show you a couple of ways just to sort of manage reading the chart. One easy way to work with a chart is to just take washi tape and just tear a little bit off. They also have at the knitting store special tape that you can use to like it pulls off and on like really easily so that you can move, because what you're going to do is you're going to position your tape so that you just see one line of the chart at a time. And so we know that we only have to deal with this one piece of the whole pattern at a time. And as we get that stitch made and we're ready for the next one, we just pull back our tape, and then we do the next line, and then the next line, and you just work your way up. And so by the time we get to this point, it really helps to help you know where you are in the pattern at all times. If you're just doing this looking at it, I mean, that could get confusing really fast. But if you use your washi tape and you just move it up one row every time that you're done, you're going to stay with your pattern like you need to. So that's like the super low-tech way of doing it. And you're just gonna pull that tape off every time. Something else that you can use is this gadget, I guess you would call it. I bought this at my yarn shop, and it's from Knitter's Pride. And these are like super strong magnets. Holy cow, are they ever something. So this piece, you're going to take it. It looks like a little notebook, and what you're going to do is you're going to take it and you're going to turn it over, and then you're going to do this, okay? And then you have something that sits up. Okay, so what you're going to do is you're going to lay your chart on here, and then you take those like really strong magnets, and it just holds your work in place, which is really, really nice. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to lay it flat so you can see exactly what I'm doing. But what's nice about this is when you're working on your project, you can be at your table, and this is all set up so that it's up and it's in front of you where you can really see it. What this comes with is the magnets, and then it also has this strip, and this is magnetic. So rather than peeling your tape off every time, you're just going to slide this magnetic piece up, which is really nice. And I mean, this particular item I bought with my own money at my local yarn shop, and I really like it. I've knitted a few of the bobble hats, and this was a lifesaver in making the bobble, because there's a lot of charted instructions in bobble, and I was able to really follow along with that pattern and knit a few of those hats. And I'm going to drop a link down below, and you can see my pattern notes and suggestions for knitting your own bobble. But the main thing is that you just need to go row by row, and you can either get this nice tool from Knitter's Pride, or you can use washi tape. It's really what you like, what you prefer. But if you're going to do a more complicated pattern, or if you think you're going to get into doing a lot of charts, I would just make the investment in this piece. It's also like super nice because you get your piece in there, and then you can just take and close it up, and it will fit right in your knitting bag, and you can carry your pattern with you, and it's there. You just pop it open. You might want to trim it so that it fits really nice into your piece here. But like if you were, say you were traveling, oh my goodness, this is really nice. So if you're in the airport and you're on a layover or a delay or whatever, you just go somewhere, get a nice cup of coffee or a tea, and you can pull out your chart, and it's all nice and neat, and you can follow along, and you could actually get your blanket square made. So, okay, so that's what I have for you on this video. I hope it helps you to kind of get some ideas for how to follow the charts, and I'm sure most of you have washi tape, so this is a great way to start. But if you're going to get into it a little bit more, I would go ahead and suggest this. This is not sponsored. Knitter's Pride has no idea who I am. It's just I'm sharing with you something that I found helpful and useful, and you might find it helpful and useful as well. Thanks for watching today. If you have any other questions, just drop those in the comments below. I will do my best to answer them for you. And before you leave, make sure to like the video and to subscribe to my channel. It really, really helps, and I appreciate it so much. So until next time, happy knitting, and I will see you around.